Here we go again, another adventure in Bible stories. God said to Jonah, I want you to go to Nineveh. And I want you to tell the people over there that I'm really angry with the way that they're living. I'm going to destroy them. Jonah said, God, I think you've got the wrong person. I'm busy. But he was making excuses. And God said, look, I want you to go. I don't want to destroy the people. I want you to go and tell them that if they don't change, I will destroy them. And Jonah says, well, God, I know what you're like. You'll send me there. They'll change their mind. They'll start behaving themselves. You'll spare them, and I'll look really sort of silly, because then they'll come on to me and say, hey, Jonah, tell us again, because you're good at predicting things. Go on, get to us. You're no good at predicting things, Jonah. Forget it. So Jonah wouldn't listen to God. You change your mind, and you spare them, and I'll look like a right big idiot. So I'm not going. And what Jonah did was what we all do. Come out of the house and you slam the door. You go to do your own thing, and then your mom and dad are worried where you are. In the case of Jonah, he decided to go in the opposite direction. So Jonah went and he booked a cruise, round the Mediterranean cruise. Got on the boat, went down into his bunk, and he settled down there. But you know, I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise, but you know when we get bad weather, when we get rain and storms and hail and all that kind of stuff, well, you can get it at sea as well. And Jonah got it at sea. On the boat, the boat was going whoops and down. And out. And out. Well, guess what? People on the boat realized that something was really wrong. And so they started to ask one another, who's upset there? And they found out that Jonah was disobeying God. Jonah said, look, I know it's my fault. So they said, well, what are we supposed to do? There's nothing left on the ship for us to really get rid of. The only thing that's left is us. Jonah said, look, if you want to get where you're going safely, chuck me overboard. You want us to chuck you overboard. Can you swim? Jonah said, don't worry about that. If you want to get where you're going, then just chuck me overboard. Swim up. Said, Jonah, forgive us. This is your own fault. You want it. And over the boat he goes. And he starts going down. Now the sea is deep. In fact, I mean, it was way, way down. Suddenly, out of the blue, and I mean out of the blue, because the water was like blue, this gigantic mouth. Well, I think it was a mouth, because I couldn't see anything else but this big, like a tunnel-y thing came. A giant, humongous fish came and swallowed Jonah up. And Jonah was inside the belly of a fish. Have you ever been in the stomach of a fish? I wish I could ask a fish and say, hey fishy, what's it like to have a human person inside your tummy? But you see, fish can't talk. So Jonah was inside this fish for 3 days. After 3 days, up it came, straight out of the belly of the fish, straight onto the shore. Where? Nineveh. From a holiday and saying, you know what? I got swallowed by a fish. And you know where the fish took me and where it spat me out? Where my house is. Nobody'd believe you, would they? Jonah was spat out on the shores of Nineveh. And he went into Nineveh and he said to the people, if you don't change the way that you're living, God's going to destroy you all. And then he went and he sat down outside the city. He was rubbing his hands. I'd like to see what's going to happen to this lot. I wonder if it's going to be thunder and lightning. And they said sorry to God, forgave them. And our God good that when we should be punished, he tells somebody to come and tell us, look, if we say we're sorry and own up to what we've done, we'll be forgiven. If you really, really mean it, not only does God forgive you, the people around you forgive you as well. Now you might not think they're forgiving you because sometimes they might bring it up and they remember it, but there's a difference between remembering and forgiving. I hope you've enjoyed this story. We've got more coming along very soon.